Hey there, welcome back to yet another DVD and Blu-ray update. Initially, I had planned to make this a part of my recent vlog, but I decided against that because it was already, I think, at the right length. So I didn't want it to be an hour or even really over 30 minutes. And I didn't want to rush myself through the update portion anyway because I got a lot of good stuff here. So I'm going to start out with the 4K releases actually, and then I'm going to move my way down. Uh, so here we have honestly one of the best releases from 2020 easily, and one of Arrow's finest works. They have been really killing it lately with their 4K releases and just their releases period. I mean, Arrow has always been amazing. And last year was a really great year for them in terms of showing their dominance in other formats. I would say when it comes to boutique releases of 4K titles, the only company that's come close to Arrow is Second Sight. But Arrow has had more 4K releases and has just really perfected the art of the slipcase, the booklet, just the designs, and just quality control too. I mean, all of their releases look fantastic in terms of their picture quality and their sound. They rarely have any issues to the point where you have to get a replacement copy. That's one thing I've noticed with Arrow compared to some of these other studios. You rarely, if ever, hear anything about their discs having an issue with sound or picture quality or anything of that sort. Because they really do put a lot of care, thought, and effort into their releases. And Tremors is a terrific release from Arrow. Um, this is absolutely the best the film has ever looked or sounded. It's the proper treatment for such a cult film. Universal never got around to doing it themselves. So, you know what? Arrow was like, yeah, anything you can do, we can do better. So, thanks for the distribution rights. So, this is a booklet here. It's got pictures and articles and stuff like that. You also have multiple discs. So you have as well as a ton of different goodies. Like you got lobby cards, this Walter Chang's meat market thing. Uh, you have a bonus disc, which I think is just Blu-ray, and yeah, I cannot recommend this release enough. I would love to see the sequel get a release. I don't know if it's gonna be like this. It's probably not going to be a massive box set like Tremors, but it would be nice to see it get a release anyway because the current release it has is not really the best transfer. I don't care about the other films. I'm fine with just the second movie. Because honestly, that's the only other Tremor sequel I've seen. I've seen the second film. I watched it with my friend Matt late one night years ago through Skype, and I really enjoyed it. And I haven't really bothered to see the other sequels. Maybe one of these days I might do a Tremors marathon and then finally check them out. But yeah, this is a really terrific release from Arrow. So that's the Arrow Video 4K. Then we have a stack of 4Ks that I got from mostly these are from one seller on Facebook who the deal I got from this guy is just insane. And so is the generosity. It really blew me away. And the other ones are titles I got from my local record shop for trade-ins, and one from Amazon Warehouse. So these ones on top here are all from this one seller. Now, most of these I did pay for, but he was charging like $6 a pop for these 4K releases. Absolutely amazing deal. On top of that, he threw in one for free, and then he also threw in a ton of other Blu-rays for free, and I only paid like 42 bucks shipped for all of these, which is a really crazy good deal. Because it doesn't just include these 4Ks, it includes some Blu-rays that I'll show later. But anyway, here's one that he threw in for free. Transformers: The Last Night. Never seen it? Probably isn't that great, but I didn't have this one. And I'm honestly curious about checking out the Transformers films because I've only seen the first three, and it's been forever since I've seen them. So I've been wanting to upgrade the DVDs that I had of those anyway. And the guy just out of the blue just added the rest of these Transformers movies to the lot I had already paid for. So another one I have is Bumblebee. And this is the one that I originally got, and I wasn't expecting to get any more Transformers movies, and the guy just surprised the hell out of me. This is a prequel, I believe, and actually a couple people have asked me for my thoughts on this one, so we'll see. So that's Bumblebee, and so we got The Last Night, Bumblebee 4K, then we have Valerian. I had the DVD, but this is the kind of film that you really want to get in 4K just to see the visuals as sparkling and crystal clear as they possibly can be. I've heard a lot of mixed things about this, but I like sci-fi epic movies like this, so I've been curious about this one for quite a while now. So that's Valerian. Then we have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I like this movie. That was a fun film. I liked it a lot more than Jurassic World. And I didn't have this one in 4K. I had the others in a box set, but not Fallen Kingdom. So that's Fallen Kingdom. And then we have Ghost in the Shell. I like this more than the anime. I know some people think it's blasphemy, but I saw this in the theater, in IMAX, and 3D. It was stunning. And I've seen it again since, and I still really enjoy this movie. This is probably my favorite live action anime adaptation. I know a lot of people say it's one of the worst. I disagree. And I'm looking forward to checking it out in 4K. So that's Ghost in the Shell. Then we have Kong Skull Island in 4K. One of my favorite monster movies in recent memory. Saw this in the theater, had a blast, loved it. Always wanted to pick up the 4K, but the price just wasn't right. This price is perfect, and I can upgrade my Blu-ray release to 4K. So that's Kong Skull Island. I'll probably watch that again before Godzilla vs. Kong. And then we have a couple that I got for free, more free titles because I got them for in-store credit from my record shop. This is the only reason why I got this, is because it was free. Terminator Dark Fate. Also for the collection, for the Terminator collection. I think I will probably review the Terminator films sometime this year because it is the anniversary of T2, and those reviews are so ancient and old, and I don't even know if any of them are still up. So, and I haven't reviewed Dark Fate. I think the only one that's up is of Genesis. And maybe some of the other sequels. But I would love to just do a redo on all of them and finally check this out and revisit the franchise. So it's Terminator Dark Fate. And then we have La La Land. Because I actually do like musicals when they're done well. I am a big fan of Grease. I love Phantom of the Paradise. I enjoy Rocky Horror Picture Show. And the reason why I do enjoy musicals when they're done well is because I actually was in musicals. I did musical theater in high school. I sang a duet from the Pajama Game. The one where it's like, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. So I did that. duet with a girl, and we sang songs from Phantom of the Opera and did a bunch of different things. And I've been in choir. I was in choir for half my life, over a decade of choir. I was voted best tenor in my choir in my junior year. I lettered in choir in high school. So music is definitely in my blood. And when they do it right, it really can be magical. So, and I've heard a lot of really good things about this. So, and I like Ryan Gosling and I like Emma Stone. So, La La Land. And then we have Blade in 4K. Um, this is a good one. I like Blade 2 better. I'm really hoping they do release Blade 2 in 4K as well. But this is a really solid release from Sony. I flipped through it, and the opening sequence of the bloodbath looks better than it ever has before. So fucking good. And some really good sound as well. Definitely something I would recommend. And it also really sounds so much better with a new soundbar that I got. I paid decent penny for it because I got it at Target, and it's been worth it and then some. I believe I think it's a Sony. I think it might be a Sony. I could be wrong. I think it's a Sony, but it's a really good soundbar. It sounds fantastic. No, it doesn't have Dolby Atmos. I don't have the right setup anyway. If you just have one soundbar in a small room, I don't think Dolby Atmos is really, you're not going to get the most out of it anyway. So, with what it does provide, really great bang for my buck, and it really makes a lot of these films, especially the 4K and Blu-ray films, even DVDs, sound so much better, so much fuller, so much richer than my previous soundbar that I had before. It might be a Samsung as well. Um, yeah, I think it actually is a Samsung, but it's like a much better model than the one that I had previously. So that is Blade, and then we have ET, the 35th anniversary limited edition. Got this is an Amazon warehouse get. It was used and it was in really good shape. And I want to give this film another shot, especially after flipping through this 4K disc. This looks spectacular. This is an amazing transfer by Universal. And after flipping through that, it just made me want to revisit it again. I think I was way too harsh on it the last time. I still don't feel I'm going to be as big of a fan of it as everyone else is. There's other Steven Spielberg films I like a lot more, but I do feel that with E.T., I think I'm going to warm up to it a lot more. This particular time around. So that's E.T. the Extraterrestrial, the 35th anniversary limited edition. It also comes with a copy of the soundtrack, which I got to be honest is one of John Williams' finest scores. That's one of my favorite things about the film is John Williams' score. The rest here are DVDs. The first one here is a gift. This is a gift from Mike. Mike M., who's a longtime friend of mine. I want to give him a huge shout out and a very big thanks for this. He sent me the complete series of Community on DVD. I've heard a lot of good things about this show. There's a lot of pop culture references, and been curious about it for a while. And he sent me this series. I will say this DVD set kind of sucks. I don't know what was going on with this set. I fixed it, but the way that it initially was packaged was ridiculous. I don't know what the hell is going on here. I was going to try to grab something to show you, but I'm not even going to bother. I'll just explain to you how bad this was packaged. So Mill Creek cheaped out in the most ridiculous way possible by having every disc in a cardboard sleeve, but not only did they have the discs in a cardboard sleeve, they had them in little plastic bags that were shaped like a disc. So Mill Creek literally had every disc in a DVD condom. I've never seen this shit before in my life. They had them in a DVD condom. And I was like, fuck that shit. I took them out of the DVD condoms, took them out of the cardboard cases. I had some spare um, slip cases lying around, paper cases, and I just did that, and it's much better, and it's just as effective, or it provides just as much protection as what they had, if not even more, because the plastic sleeves, they were really flimsy, and probably, if just by putting them in the plastic sleeve, you were going to scratch the disc. So I just put them in here. And what's ironic is Mill Creek used to do that all the time. They used to just have them in these kind of cases. They tried to make, I guess upgrade and put them in these other cases with fucking plastic DVD condoms, and they didn't make anything any better. So, but I still got the community series thanks to Mike, so thank you. But it's stupid. Speaking of Mill Creek, I also did order their release of That 70s Show on Blu-ray because I actually really enjoy that show. It's been years since I've seen it, but I used to watch it all the time when it was on WB on reruns, and it was finally somewhat affordable. But the catch is they don't have it in stock, and they won't ship it until like February or something, or even sometime in March. And I'm fine with that. I'll just save up, and then they could ship it out whenever. So, the rest of the DVDs are as follows. We have Whisper Kill with Lonnie Anderson, which is I think it's like a low budget thriller, I think from the 80s or early 90s. Have a drama called Chinese Box featuring Jeremy Irons and Gong Li. We have The Curve, which looks like a promising film with Matthew Lillard, Kerry Russell. This is one I don't think is on Blu-ray. The Curve. And then I got Striptease with Demi Moore. Not just for the eye candy, but that is part of it. But mainly, I want to see how good Burt Reynolds' performance is. I've heard he's really good in it. So that's Striptease. For a film that had as much controversy and advertising as this did, this has nothing. There isn't even an audio commentary on this disc. There isn't even a trailer. There are 0 features on this. And then we get to the Blu-rays, which some of them do have DVDs because they're Blu-ray DVD combos. But actually, before that, I'm going to show this CD, Stargate. I got this at a thrift store. I love this score. It's one of my favorite scores, actually. I really, really like this score by David Arnold. So I'm really glad to get the soundtrack, the score on CD. So the first ones up on deck for Blu-ray are these releases from Kino Lorber. We have The Eager Sanction, Clint Eastwood. I don't know if I've shown these or not in a previous video. If I have, forgive me. But that's The Eager Sanction. Mountain climbing film featuring Clint Eastwood. Then we have a Western, High Plains Drifter. And then some more Westerns. Because I had the other one in this trilogy, the Sergio Leone Clint Eastwood Western trilogy. So this is for a few dollars more. And this is the good, the bad, and the ugly. I heard they're doing a 4K release, but I actually haven't seen this movie, so I'm fine with just having the Blu-ray. And then I also got Amazon Women on the Moon. Now, I do have the 101 Films release of this, but this has a new featurette on it that, and a couple other things that I don't believe are on that release. So, wanted to pick that up. Plus, I'm just a really big fan of this. I think it's a really fun spoof film, and it's region free, so I don't have to like use my region free player to be able to watch it. So Next up, speaking of 101 films, the release of The Deep. This came super fast. I ordered this like a few days ago. I'm shocked by how quickly this got here from the UK. Super, super quick. So this is region locked. So if you don't have a region free player, this isn't going to work for you. But this does have a new interview with the underwater art director, commentary with a film critic, the vintage making of documentary. And it also has a little mini magazine. But the main selling point for this is the new, I think it has a 4K remaster of the film. So that's why I decided to get it. Because this is a very impressive looking movie visually, and I really want to see what it looks like in 4K. So if it sounds like my voice is is dying, it kind of is. I think my sinuses are kind of fucked right now, so forgive me. But I'm gonna power through. So next up we have the Bourne Ultimate Collection on Blu-ray. I'm not super big on the Bourne films, but I haven't seen them in years, and I haven't seen the one featuring Jeremy Renner, and I like Jeremy Renner, so I want to see that one. Plus, the deal was just too good. I think at most, I think I paid like $10 for this, and this is like all of the movies. This is every single Bourne film, all in one set, complete with bonus features. So you have the first movie, the second one, you have the Ultimatum, you have the Bourne Legacy, and you have Jason Bourne, which I saw in the theater with my parents, and I thought it was it's just super boring. I like to call it Jason Bourne. And then a bonus disc. But yeah, really cool set. So, I mean, I thought, hey, maybe I might not mind them whenever I get around to revisiting them. And for that price, really good deal. Then these are ones that the same guy, because I got the Bourne set plus the plus Bumblebee and the other 4Ks I mentioned earlier. He threw in these for free. Blu-ray of Transformers, the first film, first live-action Transformers movie. Blu-ray of the second film, Revenge of the Fallen. A Blu-ray of Dark of the Moon, the third one, the last one I actually saw in the theater. And then a Blu-ray of Age of Extinction. So that's all the Transformers movies, all in one package. And like 5 of them were free. Even if some of these suck, they were free. Then I got a few more stacks here. So we have the Target Special Edition of the Lego Movie. This has a special bonus disc that I don't think is on any other release, with like 2 hours of new extras, at least for the time. I love this film. I really like this movie, so I've been wanting to get this on Blu-ray for a while, and this was one of the things I got for trade-in from the record shop. So the Lego Movie. I've seen Lego Batman. I did enjoy it. I wouldn't mind getting that for the collection someday. And I also am curious about the second part, but I haven't seen the second part. I've seen trailers, but I haven't actually seen Lego Movie Part 2. So that's the Lego Movie. Then we have one of the other free titles the seller threw in, Black Mass, with Johnny Depp. Based on the mobster James Whitey Bulger and his rise to infamous power and his fall. I like Johnny Depp, and this one always looked interesting to me, and I only had the DVD, so Black Mass. This is a release I forgot to show in the last update. that I got from MVD, Bright Lights, Big City, featuring Michael J. Fox. Then we have Fatal Attraction, another Amazon warehouse deal. This was in like new condition, like the ET release. This is the most recent Paramount Presents release, which has a bit that opens up like the poster right here. And I think it has a new 4K remaster of the film's print. Ports over all the same features, and then has an interview with Adrian Lin. So if you're a big fan of this film, I would say pick this release up. It's definitely worth it. And I only had the DVD, and it was really affordable. And here's the thing, Amazon Warehouse can be a crapshoot. Sometimes you can really hit big. I think I got a good deal on Fatal Attraction and ET. Excuse me, other times you can completely fail, and that's why I got a little bit bout of indigestion there. Because other times you'll take a chance on something that says it's acceptable or it's okay, and the disc is fucked, and there's nothing you can do about it, so you just have to wind up returning it and cutting your losses. But I still think Amazon Warehouse is worth checking because you can get some really, really good deals from there if you just keep at it. But keep in mind it's a crapshoot. You might get some stuff that's busted. That's why they're in the warehouse to begin with. So then we have Journey double feature. Got it at a thrift shop. It was only like a couple bucks. I'm curious about checking these films out. I like adventure movies. I like Brendan Fraser. I like The Rock. So Journey double feature features Journey to the Center of the Earth and Journey 2. It's another trade-in for the record shop. Miramax multi-feature of Dracula 2000, Dracula 2, Dracula 3, and They. Not that big on They. Mainly got it for the Dracula films because I only had them on DVD. And I think this is the only time they've been released on Blu-ray as of right now. So, multi-feature pack from Echo Bridge. Death Wish Remake, another free title. Only had it on DVD. Had the others on Blu-ray, so wanted to update the collection. I think this also has some features that are not on the DVD. So Death Wish. Sadly, I would say this is the last good Bruce Willis movie, and the last time he delivered a performance where he actually seemed like he was alive and not a reanimated corpse. The Death Wish. This is one I forgot to show in one of the updates. Popeye, the most recent release from Paramount. It's a great release. It really is. I mean, in terms of the picture quality, it looks fantastic. And there's like a couple other features and stuff, which is better than nothing. But there's not a whole ton of features. But if you are looking at getting this for the upgrade in picture quality, it's definitely worth it for that. So Popeye. This is another trade-in. Platoon. I only had it on DVD. And I know this has a remaster from Shout Factory, but I've heard nightmares about it. I've seen screenshots and it looks filtered and it looks like it was fucked with DNR. And I've seen a lot of people who are fans of the film completely just shit on that release. So I didn't bother getting that. And I've actually heard from fans that this is actually still the best release of the film on Blu-ray. The original release from MGM and Fox years ago. And that's just sad for a film that's as celebrated and as well known as Platoon. So that's Platoon. And it does look good. I gotta be honest, for older Blu-ray, it upconverts really nicely. The rest of the titles here are all ones that I got from Hamilton. Hamilton Book. They had a good deal on various different stuff. Most of these are all of Films releases, and they had a good price cut deal on those. But here we have Get Carter, with Stallone, one of the more underrated remakes, one of Stallone's most underrated films, and I did not have the Blu-ray, only had the DVD. So Get Carter. We have the Town That Dreaded Sundown remake. Heard actually some pretty decent things about this remake. Didn't have it. It was a good price. Here we have Blue City with Judd Nelson and Ali Sheedy. Looks like an interesting movie. Interesting thriller. Like most old films releases, though, bare bones, not much in terms of features, uh, but decent enough transfer. We have The End of Violence with Bill Pullman, Andy McDowell, and Gabriel Byrne. This looks like an interesting movie in terms of the plot line. Looks like it might be one of Bill Pullman's best performances. I only had this on DVD, so definitely was all for upgrading it. Then we have a drama called Chattahoochee featuring Gary Oldman and Dennis Hopper. This looks really good. It might be just one of those cases where the trailer was just really well edited and it just hit all the right notes. But this looks like a legitimately great, underrated gem of a movie. Based on a true story about this man, Emmett Foley, who was a Korean War hero who was institutionalized in a state hospital. And it's based on the real life of Chris Calhoun and his experiences as a patient. So he plays a fictional character, Emmett Foley. He doesn't play Chris Calhoun, but it's based on that story about uh, someone who stood up to the system and actually caused some changes, major changes to happen in Florida State's um, mental rehabilitation uh, services. You know, in the general area of mental health. So yeah, Chattahoochee. Then we have criminal. If for some reason I can't even fucking speak. Criminal Law, featuring Kevin Bacon and Gary Oldman. This is one I've been wanting to get for a while. Martin Campbell directed it, so I was really psyched to finally get this for a good price. And then you have this interesting oddity. One of the first ever made for cable movies, The Ratings Game, featuring Danny DeVito, Rhea Perlman, uh, Garrett Graham, Kevin McCarthy, Michael Richards, George Wendt, Tracy Walter. Stars Danny DeVito as a trucking magnate whose only dream is to hit it big as a Hollywood producer. Luckily for him, he has a girlfriend, Rhea Perlman, who works at the TV ratings service. Together, they pull off a hilarious scam on television's sacred rating system. And it's also a film that was directed by Danny DeVito. So this was his directorial debut. And it looks like a fun movie. I mean, you got all these. This comes with a booklet. It's got all these kind of things on it. Gives you a glimpse at some of the shows that were on this fictional channel. It actually looks like it might be a fun spoof movie. So yeah, that's The Ratings Game. Then we have Wolfman's Got Nards, Monster Squad documentary. Um, this is a documentary about the film as well as the fans. It might just be a fluff piece, but you know me, I love the Monster Squad, so got a good deal on it, and I'll definitely check this out one of these days. So, Wolfman's Got Nards. And the rest here, I believe these are all going to be, except for the one on the bottom, all trade-ins. 2012. This is actually not a guilty pleasure for me at all. I actually really like this film. I think it's a great disaster movie. Saw it in the theater with my dad when it came out. Had a blast. And I still enjoy this movie. I would say it's the last film that Emmerich has done that is legitimately good. And is it realistic? Hell no. But that's part of the fun. So 2012. I know I got a 4K release, but I'm fine with the Blu-ray. It's fine. I don't need the 4K release. Terminator Genesis. Yeah. Terminator Salvation. Terminator 3. And These are ones that I got in the past, but I just put them together because why not? T2, Skynet Edition, and a bootleg release of the Terminator with some really cool cover art, and the original sound mix that is not available for some reason on anything other than I think the Laserdisc or one of the earlier DVDs. So, yeah, Terminator films. You're probably wondering, why did you get all those? And you already have them in a box set? I did, but I didn't like the box set. And I prefer to have them in separate releases if I can. And it makes for something I could show to the camera, something that I can punch physically if I don't like the movie. So, yeah, those are the Terminator films. Then we got Mortal Engines. This film is one of the latest box office bombs. I think it came out a couple years ago and tanked so hard in the box office. Um, and it looks like an interesting movie. It didn't sell me enough to go pay and see it, but it still looked like it was interesting. A movie about moving cities who fight each other. Sounds like might be kind of a fun concept. And but I never really got around to seeing it, and I haven't read the source material, so I really can't say much about it. But I'm glad I was able to pick up the Blu-ray because I'm curious to give it a shot someday. Then I got Salt. I like this movie a lot. I think this is actually better than the Bourne films. If you like those movies, I think you'll actually enjoy this. And I think this is one of the last films Jolie did that I thought was genuinely really good. And yeah. I think this one is actually pretty underrated. I don't think enough people talk about it. Even though it did well and it had a 4K release, I don't really hear a lot of people talking about Salt. So that's Salt. And then we got some more here. We have Assassin's Creed. Because I'm curious to see how bad this is going to be. And I think it'd be a fun double feature with Prince of Persia. I've never played any of these games. I've heard about them. So it's not one of those things where I can really criticize it in terms of how well it adapts the game. But I'm just curious to see how much of a beautiful disaster this movie is. So that's Assassin's Creed. And then we have Blood Simple, another film that I've heard of but I've never seen. It's a thriller. I think it's it's the directorial debut of Joel Cohen, Coen Brothers fame. And the last film to show before my voice completely dies is Trick or Treat. This is the out of print media book edition. This doesn't include the DVD or the CD, just has the Blu-ray. That's why I got a good deal on it, and I'm fine with that because I really like this film and I wanted it on Blu-ray. And I wanted this cover specifically because this is the cover I remember the most from the original poster. So Trick or Treat, uh, my personal favorite heavy metal horror movie. And yeah, that's it. That's it for the recent DVD and Blu-ray update. I'm gonna go get some water or something, or take a decongestant and see if my sinuses will clear up. And as always, I'll see you later. See ya.